Hey, it's Pan from Dragon Ball GT, and you're watching the DenoxSeries. Yeah!
DenoxSeries Game Reviews, the Advanced Variable Geo 2 review for PS1. Hello everyone, this is DenoxSeries speaking once again, and today I will be doing a new game review on the direct sequel to the Super Variable Geo game that I reviewed many years ago called the Advanced Variable Geo 2 for the PS1. This game released for the PlayStation only in Japan on September 23rd, 1998. Wow, only 2 days before my 11th birthday I see. Just like the first main series of Variable Geo, this game features all the returning characters, which are Yuka Takeuchi, the main character of the first game, Satomi Yajima, Kaoi Yanase, Jun Kubota, Elena Goldsmith, Chiho Masuda, Ayaka Yuki, Reimi Jahana, and Manami Kusunoki. Plus 5 new playable characters, which are Kyoko, Saki Chinjo, Material, Miranda, and this game's new main protagonist, Tamao Mitsurugi. But of course, Material and Miranda are unlockable characters, which requires you to beat the story mode first so you can unlock them, since they are the boss characters within the game. This game focuses in the story of Tamao Mitsurugi that became a fangirl of Yuka Takeuchi after she was watching her fights in the previous Variable Geo games and was amazed on her fighting style, the same way that Sakura became a fan of Ryu from Street Fighters. Tamao sets out on her journey in search for Yuka Takeuchi because he really wants to have a chance to fight her one-on-one, but along the way, she finds out that Yuka went missing. So she goes and fights several battles with other VG girls in order to reach Yuka. But I will not get much deeper in the story to avoid spoilers. All you gotta know is that the story focuses on Tamao as the main character in search for Yuka and to beat the final boss. The gameplay itself is very fluid, quick response, and you can literally do a lot of combos if you press the button quick enough and the exact buttons required to connect the attacks. Some of these combos are literally insane. Look at characters like the blonde chick called Miranda. She does a lot of projectile beam attacks, and wait till you face her in story mode. You'll be in for a shock. She's incredibly OP and broken in this game in my opinion. It plays just like a standard 1v1 fighting game. Basically, defeat your opponent, you will have to get their health bar to 0, and it's best 2 out of 3 in default. Now to explain briefly on the controls of this game. You obviously move with the directional buttons, self-explanatory. Squares for weak punch, triangles for strong punch, X's for weak kick, and circles for strong kick. To activate a special attack, make sure you have one or more bar full on the bottom left, and then activate by pressing down, right, and R1 quickly. You can do elbow jab attacks by going back and hit triangle and circle attacks for strong punches and kicks, and press the directional button behind your character while someone else attacks for you to block. To know the full button combination of the rest of their attacks, you can refer to the instruction manual if you own a physical copy of this game. The manual, if you know Japanese, can help. But otherwise, you can go to the Fighter-based website for Advanced Variable Geo 2 to know the full moveset of each of the waitresses, and the good about this is that it's all in English. I will leave a link to that in the description below in case you want to check it out. If I were to explain the comparison of the control between Advanced Variable Geos 1 and 2, I feel that this game improved in every aspect, especially the animation sprites used for these attacks as well. I can tell they put a lot of effort in making every animation of each character's attack on point. I find the background of the stages incredibly detailed, sometimes a bit too detailed in one stage, but it looks pretty good in how the animation was done with the people watching in the background. Moving on to the menu screen, we have normal mode, story mode, versus mode, time attack mode, practice, and config. Now most of these options are self-explanatory, but I will go through briefly each of the modes anyways, just in case. The first we have is normal mode, which is equivalent to arcade mode, where you face a set number of fights and then you get to the final boss in the end without even going through the story. In story mode, you will follow Tamao Mitsurugi on her journey to find Yuka and defeat the new threat. You will go through Tamao's interaction with each of the Variable Geo waitresses one by one in search for Yuka. It has about 11 chapters in total. In versus mode, you can face against a second human player on a one-on-one match for fun. In time attack mode, you will fight continuous battles of every single characters in the roster to aim for the best time score by beating them as quickly as possible. Practice, of course, is self-explanatory. You can use this to practice each of the characters' different moves in order to get the hang of them, and find out which of the characters fits your style. My top 3 favorites I use personally are Yuka, of course, Satomi, and Kawi. And in configuration, you can configure the control layout for your controls in your liking, or keep it as default, and all other settings are also self-explanatory. As for the graphics of this game, you can say that the quality and the animation of it is a huge step from the Super Nintendo version in comparison. It's been over 20 years now since the game's release as of the time of this recording, and it sure looks like it aged very well, and seeing how 2D fighting games are still being made today like Blaze Strangers and Blaze Blue Tack Cross. This game is pretty acceptable to today's standards, especially when you could upscale the resolution of the game using RetroArch or a SCART cable that could convert it to HDMI signals. Honestly, the music of this game is well made and very well detailed compared to the SNES counterpart. The music you are listening to now is Ayako's theme in her dancing stage. Previously doing the review was Yuka's theme. Ayako's music is my favorite since it has that upbeat noise into it as I feel. I honestly have nothing bad to say about the music. They are updated versions of most of the VG Girls music from the previous games. To conclude this review, I find this game the best installment of the Variable Geo series to date for several reasons. One is because when you actually play the game, you feel that this, for the most part, is a well-balanced combo-based fighting game. Each of the Variable Geo characters have their own unique fighting styles and moves that you can experiment with. Plus, each of the girls have their own personality as well that can appeal to a wide variety of fighting game fans. I find this fighting game to be very underrated because this game has only been released in Japan and overshadowed by the more popular fighting games like Street Fighters and King of Fighters at the time. Knowing that this fighting game is very much inspired by the Street Fighter series because you see Yuka's moves very similar to Ryu's Hadouken and Choryuken. I also feel that Satomi is like Ken in this game for obvious reasons. They fight based on fire. If you already know that Ryu and Ken are very similar, look at Yuka and Satomi. Very similar indeed, in both similar appearance they have, the attacks they use, and both fighting barefoot in a way as well. Not to mention that they have a character like Tamao Mitsurugi who is just like Sakura that is a fangirl of the main character and wants to be trained by them and fight them so badly. Can you call it a ripoff of Street Fighters or an inspiration? You decide in the comments below. This is an all-female fighting game where practically all the girls are waitresses, all competing in a VG tournament to win the prize money for their real estate or face humiliation, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it has its own original concept mixed with it too at least. But I urge you to look into this game if you are a big Street Fighters fan. Although it's only available in Japan and the price of this game is a bit on the expensive side compared to the other Variable Geo games, like between $40 to $60 or so. This fighting game is very well worth the price and will guarantee you many hours of battle fun. In my opinion, this is one of the games that should be introduced in fighting game tournaments or at least on the retro side. So to wrap it all up, I give this game an 8.3 out of 10. If you simply enjoy the Street Fighter series, I highly recommend this game to you. No need to have played the previous Variable Geo games to enjoy this. Unless you are in it for the story too, that is. So this concludes my game review on Advanced Variable Geo 2 on the PS1. Hope you enjoy and leave a like if you enjoyed it. And comment below your thoughts on this game so far when you're watching this video. And until next video guys, take care, God bless, and stay cool. Bye bye. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you want to see more from me, click a video on the left side of the screen. We also have DenoxSeries merchandise available on my TeePublic link below if you want to own t-shirts like this you see on your right. Also be sure to join my DenoxSeries Discord server to connect with people into gaming, tech, anime, and related. Hope to see you there.